Okay, so as Grace mentioned, on the marketing team, we use BrightWork on SharePoint on-prem and Microsoft Teams together to collaborate and move work forward. And really, from a collaboration point of view, Teams has replaced email as our primary communication vehicle, and especially now so that we are all working from home right now. So I'm going to start the demo showing you a few items in Teams, and then that will lead on to the demo of our marketing site. If you use Teams already, this stuff will be familiar to you, but if not, maybe you'll find it interesting. So this is a team that we have for the marketing team, and you can see the first thing that we have here are the posts or our conversations, where you can see lively discussions about work and deliverables and just other aspects of marketing that we want to talk about. The second thing that we have is our where we store files in a central location where everyone has access to these documents. But most importantly about having them kind of stored here in the central place is that we never have to worry about whether or not we're looking at the latest version of any document. Another thing we've added to our team is the marketing team OneNote. So that's just a notebook for storing meeting notes or market research or anything else that we need to collect and save for a later time to keep track of. And then finally, the last tab we have here in the site is our SharePoint site. So this is the marketing site that I'm going to show you. It's just a tab. We've added a tab in Teams and set it to show a URL. And in this case, it's the link to our marketing site in the BrightWork portal. You could actually interact with this site entirely through Teams, so you would never have to leave Teams if you didn't want to, but for the purposes of this demo, I'm going to move to a browser in just a second. Just before I move on, I will say that we use chat quite extensively in Teams throughout the day. I'm not going to open it because my actual chats, and we also have kind of fun channels for talking about movies and news and sports and the typical stuff that we would chat about at lunch if we were in the office together. So that's a quick look at our teams. And you can see we have different channels for the blog and reports and water cooler and book club and stuff like that. So pretty there's a lot going on in our teams and a lot of activity, which is great to stay connected with everybody. So I'm going to open up my browser now. So here I am on the project homepage of our marketing site. And just a couple of things that I will note before I kind of show you around This site is based on the BrightWork project standard template, but it has been configured to match the way we work on the marketing team. But having a template, starting from a template, really allowed us to save time at the setup stage because the basics were all there. And it was so easy to configure that we could embed our own processes right into the site. So I'm not a SharePoint whiz by any means, but I was able to, looking at the BrightWork help, I needed to Google a couple of things, but I was able to, it's not spectacular maybe, but I was able to do all the configuration myself without any of the assistance from our Dermot or on the support desk. So it's really user-friendly if you just kind of dig in and know what you want to do. Secondly, having a site like this really centralizes our work tracking into one place, especially now that we're not kind of physically together in the office. It's more important than ever for us to not be using multiple tools and different ways of tracking and managing our work. So for me as the team leader, this site is super handy, but as well as for the team as well, I think, so that they can kind of understand, how work is going. And I've found that having a site like this has really increased our productivity by bringing all of the task management together into one single cohesive tool. So I'll just show a couple of highlights of the site now. First thing is the project homepage. And the first thing you see up here at the top are the key metric tiles. The key metrics show us immediately, if there are any delays or issues affecting the execution of our marketing work. So we can see that there are 2 late items that we need to address. There are also two open issues that need to be looked at. No blocked items at the moment. And then there are a couple of dates out here on the end, looking at the current finish date. So that's just the finish date of the last task that's logged in the site, and then the last time there was a change made, which is today. Just below that, then we have on the left-hand column here, we have work due soon. That's grouped by the team member responsible. This dashboard just shows us the work that is due in the next 2 weeks to give us a snapshot of all the marketing work that has a deadline coming up soon. So if it's not started yet, we probably need to get working on it pretty quickly. So this visibility makes it very clear to each team member what their responsibilities are, and so that they can understand their work assignments and manage their schedule to get this work done over the next week or two. Over here on the top right-hand side of this column here, we have a task by status chart, which is a quick glance at the overall progress of work that's logged in the site. So it's helpful to see. We could see kind of really quick, is the backlog growing and growing, and we're not actually doing any work, or we don't have any blocked items, but we would hope that that would be a small portion of the pie if they were listed there. Or are our in-progress tasks just building up and building up, and throughput is an issue that we need to address. Maybe there's a bottleneck somewhere. So it's just a quick visual cue to help us surface any issues or increase the speed of execution. Below that, then we have a web part displaying the open issues in our site. So this lets us find and address issues really quickly. Tends to become a focal point for any meetings that we have or conversations, so we can discuss the actions we're going to take to fix those issues. And then the final little dashboard that we have here on the homepage are the team vacation days. It's just a simple Gantt chart that's kind of drawing on the main vacation list in the BrightWork portal. And that's just to help us know when team members are going to be out of the office so that we can plan accordingly. So that's kind of the key information that kind of folks need to know, kind of what's happening, what's late, any issues, how's work going. This page gives us that summary. And anyone in BrightWork has access to this site. I'm not sure how often people outside of marketing actually look at this, but they can if they want to come in and look at the dashboards and the status reports to get a sense of the current state of play. What's happened in marketing recently, and what work is planned and upcoming. So for folks that might be concerned, are executives thinking, is work actually getting done? Your executives could come into this site and say, okay, here's the work that's happening. There's a few late things. Maybe I need to check that out. Any issues? Can I help? So they would have complete visibility into what's happening by logging into a site like this. And really, if you didn't look at any other page in the site, perhaps maybe the status report as well, you'd really have a good idea of what's happening in marketing.